What if the earth itself holds secrets it doesn't want you to know? Places where the line between life and death, reality and nightmare, blurs into something you can't unsee. From tunnels of bones whispering forgotten stories, to a forest that swallows hope, and down to a blood-red lake that turns animals to stones, and a desert ranch where the impossible feels all too real. These are the world's darkest enigmas. Step with us into the unknown, where every shadow hides a truth, and every truth begs the question, are you brave enough to face what's waiting? Lake Natron, the crimson curse of Tanzania. Imagine a place so surreal, so otherworldly, it feels like it belongs in a dream or a nightmare. Deep in Tanzania's Rift Valley lies Lake Natron, a blood-red mirror of water that gleams under the merciless Sunday. But this isn't just a lake. It's a paradox, a place where beauty and death dance hand in hand, where animals wander too close and turn to stone like statues, frozen forever in time. Is this nature's cruel masterpiece, or something more biblical curse, whispered across the ages? Lean in, let the mystery pull you close, and let's step into the eerie world of Lake Natron. It's hard to picture a place like this unless you've seen it. The lake stretches out like a wound in the earth, its surface stained a deep, unsettling red, like spilled wine or something far more primal. The air shimmers with heat, often climbing past 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and the ground around it is dusted with ash from Ol Doinyo Lengai, a volcano the Maasai people call the Mountain of God. To them, this land is sacred, a place where the divine and the deadly coexist. Flamingos, millions of them, flock here, their pink feathers glowing against the crimson water, defying the odds in a place that seems to reject life itself. But for other creatures, Lake Natron is a trap, a siren's call that lures them to their doom. Let's go back to 2011, when photographer Nick Brandt stumbled across this lake and its chilling secret. He was exploring its shores with his camera in hand when he saw birds, bats, and even small mammals preserved in eerie perfection, as if they'd been sculpted from stone. A flamingo, wings half spread, frozen mid-step, a bat with its tiny claws curled, caught in eternal flight. These were not statues carved by human hands, but animals calcified by the lake's strange chemistry. Nick's photos went viral, and suddenly the world was asking, what kind of place does this? What kind of power turns the living into ghosts? The answer lies in the water itself. Lake Natron is one of the most alkaline places on Earth, with a pH so high sometimes reaching 10.5 that is closer to ammonia than drinking water. Fed by hot springs and volcanic runoff, the lake is saturated with sodium carbonate and other minerals, creating a deadly cocktail. When animals wade in too far or collapse from exhaustion in the searing heat, the water works fast. It doesn't just kill, it preserves. The minerals coat their bodies, hardening them into calcified relics, like nature's own taxidermy. Scientists call it a natural mummification process, but when you see a bird locked in mid-flight, its eyes still gleaming, it feels like something more, a moment stolen from time itself. But there's more to this story than chemistry. The Maasai people who have lived in this region for centuries speak of Lake Natron with reverence and caution. To them, it's not just a lake, but a place where spirits linger, and where the veil between life and death is thin. They tell stories of Ol Doinyo Lengai, the volcano that looms nearby, its eruptions seen as the mountain's anger or blessing. Some say the lake's red hue comes from the blood of the earth, a warning from the gods to tread lightly. And when you stand on its shores, with the air thick and the water glowing like a ruby, it's hard not to feel something ancient, something watchful. So, what's the truth? Is Lake Natron just a quirk of nature, a place where extreme conditions create a deadly spectacle? Or is there something deeper, something that science can't fully explain? Some visitors swear they've felt an energy here, a pull that's hard to shake. Others point to the flamingos, who thrive in this toxic paradise, raising their young in waters that would burn human skin. How do they survive where others perish? It's as if the lake chooses who lives and who becomes part of its eternal gallery. Imagine standing there yourself, the heat pressing against your skin, the red water lapping at the shore. You see a calcified eagle, its wings outstretched, caught forever in a moment of defiance. You can't help but wonder about the stories it could tell, what it saw, what it felt as the lake claimed it. Each statue is a question mark, a reminder that nature doesn't always play by our rules. It's beautiful, yes, but it's also merciless, a force that creates and destroys with the same indifferent hand. The mystery of Lake Natron isn't just about the animals turned to stone. It's about what this place says about our world, how it can be so breathtaking and so brutal all at once. Scientists have studied the lake's chemistry and mapped its geology, but there's still a whisper of the unknown here. Could there be forces we haven't yet measured, or energies we can't name? Or is it simply nature showing us her rawest, most unyielding face? As the sun sets over Lake Natron, painting the sky as red as the water below, you feel it, a shiver, a sense that you're standing somewhere sacred, somewhere cursed. The flamingos wade on, untouched, while the stone-like figures watch in silence. This lake isn't just a place, it's a story, one that's been written for millennia and will go on long after we're gone. So, what do you believe? Is Lake Natron a natural wonder, a scientific marvel, or is it something more? Once you've heard its story, you'll never look at the world the same way again. Head to the comments and tell us, would you dare to stand on the shores of Lake Natron? Or is this a mystery better left untouched? Share your thoughts, and let's keep this haunting tale alive. Let us proceed further to Aokigahara, the silent scream of Japan's suicide forest. Close your eyes and imagine a forest so quiet, it feels like the world is holding its breath. At the foot of Japan's sacred Mount Fuji lies Aokigahara, a sea of green, so dense it swallows sounds, light, and hope. They call it the suicide forest, a place where lost souls wander, where the air feels heavy with sorrow and secrets. This isn't just a forest, it's a mirror of the human heart, reflecting beauty, pain, and mysteries that linger like shadows. Step with me into Aokigahara, and let's uncover the story whispered among its trees. Aokigahara is breathtaking, in the way something sacred and sorrowful can be. Its trees twist and tangle, their roots sprawling over volcanic rock, creating a labyrinth that feels alive, almost watchful. The forest floor is eerily silent, no birdsong, no rustle of wildlife, just the crunch of leaves underfoot and your own heartbeat. For centuries, the Japanese have seen this place as spiritual, a realm where the veil between life and death is thin. The yurei, known as spirits of the restless dead, are said to linger here, their whispers carried on the wind. But Aokigahara's modern story is far darker, one that's made it infamous across the globe. In the 20th century, Aokigahara became known as Japan's suicide forest, a place where thousands have come to end their lives. No one knows exactly when or why it started, but by the 1970s, the forest was drawing attention for the tragic number of lives lost within its depths. Volunteers, known as forest keepers, patrol the paths, finding remnants of those who couldn't go on, tattered shoes, faded letters, and ribbons tied to trees as markers for those hoping to be found, or maybe to find their way back. In 2010 alone, over 200 people entered Aokigahara with no intention of leaving. The weight of that number sits heavy, doesn't it? Each one was a person, a son, a mother, a father, or a friend, all carrying stories we'll never know. Why Aokigahara? That's the question that haunts anyone who hears about this place. Some say it's the forest's isolation, its ability to make you feel like you've stepped out of the world. Compasses spin wildly here, confused by the magnetic volcanic rock, and GPS signals falter. It's easy to get lost, physically and emotionally. Others point to Japan's cultural history, where suicide has sometimes been seen as an honorable act, tied to samurai traditions or unbearable shame. Then there's the spiritual pull, legends of ubasute, an ancient practice where the elderly were left in remote places to die. Some believe in this very forest, but none of these fully explain the pull, the way Aokigahara seems to call to those who feel they have nowhere else to go. Walk deeper, and you will find signs nailed to trees, written in Japanese. Your life is precious, and other signs saying, "Think of your family." They're desperate pleas, placed by locals who know the forest's power. Yet, for all its tragedy, Aokigahara is also a place of paradox. It's stunningly beautiful, with moss-covered rocks and sunlight filtering through the canopy like stained glass. Monks and spiritualists come here to meditate, drawn to its quiet energy. Some say the forest isn't evil, it's simply a mirror, reflecting the pain or peace you bring with you. But when you hear stories of hikers finding abandoned tents or hearing faint cries in the distance, it's hard not to wonder, is something else at play here? Are the Yurei real? Guiding lost souls deeper into the green. Picture yourself standing in Aokigahara, the silence wrapping around you like a blanket. You see a ribbon tied to a tree, fluttering in the breeze, and you wonder who left it. Was it someone saying goodbye, or someone hoping to be found? The forest doesn't judge, it simply exists, holding space for every emotion and every choice. It's a reminder of how fragile we are, how our struggles can feel like a forest too dense to escape, but it's also a call to hold on, to reach out, and to find light even in the darkest places. Here's the twist. Aokigahara isn't just a place of endings, it's a place of resilience too. The forest keepers, the volunteers, and the signs are proof that people are fighting back against the darkness. Every year, they save lives, pulling people from the edge and reminding them they're not alone. Aokigahara is a battleground, not just between life and death, but between despair and hope. And maybe that's its true mystery. Not the spirits or the suicides, but the human spirit's refusal to give up, even in a place that feels like the end of the world. As the sun dips below Mount Fuji, casting long shadows through Aokigahara, you feel it, the weight of countless stories, some ended, some still being written. This forest isn't just a place, it's a question, asking us what we carry in our hearts. So, I ask you, what would you leave behind in Aokigahara? A ribbon of hope, or something heavier? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's honor the lives touched by this haunting place. If this story moved you, reach out to someone today. You never know whose forest you might help them escape. Let us proceed further to the Catacombs of Paris, a city of bones beneath the light. Beneath the glittering streets of Paris, where lovers stroll and lights dance on the Seine, lies a secret world that breathes with the weight of centuries. The Catacombs of Paris is a sprawling labyrinth of tunnels, stacked with the bones of over 6 million souls. This isn't just a graveyard, it's a hidden city of the dead, where skulls and femurs form walls that whisper stories of life, loss, and the passage of time. Step into the shadows with me, and let's uncover the haunting heart of the City of Light. Picture Paris in the late 17s. The city is bursting with life, but beneath its charm, a crisis festers. Cemeteries are overflowing, their grounds so packed that graves spill into basements and wells. The air grows foul, disease spreads, and the living are suffocating under the weight of the dead. What could be the solution? It must be a radical one. Deep beneath the city, old limestone quarries, miles of dark, twisting tunnels are transformed into an ossuary, a resting place for millions. Workers, cloaked in shadows, move bones by candlelight, carting them from graveyards to this underground realm. By 1810, the catacombs are born, not just a solution but a monument to mortality itself. As you descend into the catacombs today, the air grows cool, the world above fading like a dream. A sign above the entrance reads, "Arrête, c'est ici l'empire de la mort." This means, stop, this is the empire of death, and it's no exaggeration. You walk through narrow passages, where bones are stacked with eerie precision, skulls staring blankly, tibias arranged in patterns like some macabre art. These aren't just remains, they're the echoes of bakers, poets, revolutionaries, and lovers, 6 million lives reduced to silent stacks. Some say you can feel them, their presence lingering in the damp air, as if the walls themselves are watching. But why does this place grip us so? It's more than just bones. The catacombs are a mirror, reflecting our own fears of being forgotten. Each skull was once a person with dreams, fears, and a heartbeat. Who were they? A mother who sang lullabies, or a soldier who fell in battle? Their stories are lost, but their bones remain, pressing against the present. And yet, the catacombs aren't just somber. There's a strange beauty here, a candlelit tours, forbidden corners where explorers sneak in at night, drawn to the thrill of the forbidden. They call these adventurers cataphiles, urban explorers who risk arrest to wander this underworld, chasing whispers of history or something more spectral. The deeper you go, the stranger the tales. Some say the catacombs are haunted, that voices echo where no one walks, or shadows flicker without a source. In World War II, the tunnels hid French resistance fighters, their secrets buried alongside the bones. Others speak of lost souls, people who ventured too far and never returned. In 2011, 2 teenagers vanished in the catacombs. Their fate is a mystery to this day. Is it just the maze, so vast it swallows the unwary? Or is there something else? A presence that guards this empire of death. The air feels heavier now, like it's holding secrets it will never tell. Imagine standing there, surrounded by walls of bones, the silence so thick it feels alive. You trace a finger along a skull, wondering who it belonged to, what they loved, and what they feared. The catacombs force you to face your own mortality, but they also remind you to live, to hold tight to the moments that make your heart race. Paris sparkles, romance and light all above, but down here, it's raw and real, a reminder that every life leaves a mark, even if it's just a bone in a tunnel. The catacombs aren't frozen in time. They're alive, in their own way, growing with every story told, and every visitor who shivers at their threshold. The bones may be silent, but they speak of resilience, of history, and the human need to be remembered. The catacombs aren't just a tomb, they're a testament to the lives that built Paris, and maybe, just maybe, they're waiting for us to listen. As you climb back to the surface, the lights of Paris dazzling once more, you carry the catacombs with you, a whisper in your soul that life is fleeting, but its echoes are eternal. So, what story would your bones tell? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep the voices of the catacombs alive. If this journey moved you, take a moment today to honor someone's memory, because even in the empire of death, love and light endure. Let us proceed further to the Skinwalker Ranch. Picture a vast and lonely stretch of desert under a sky so big, it feels like it's watching you. Somewhere in the heart of Utah, tucked away in the Uinta Basin, lies a place that doesn't just defy explanation, it laughs in the face of it. Skinwalker Ranch is a name that sends shivers down the spine of anyone who has heard the stories. Some unidentified flying objects slice through the night, cattle torn apart in ways that make no sense, and whispers of things moving in the dark that aren't quite human. This isn't just a piece of land. It's a puzzle, a mystery, and a Pandora's box of the paranormal. And once you step foot on it, you might never see the world the same way again. Let's rewind a bit. The stories about Skinwalker Ranch didn't start with some viral internet thread or a sci-fi flick. They go back centuries, rooted in the lore of the Navajo people. They call it the Path of the Skinwalker, a place where shapeshifters, beings that blur the line between man and beast, roam under the cover of night. The Ute tribe, who've lived in this region forever, avoid the place like it's cursed. And maybe it is. By the time the 20th century rolled around, the ranch had already earned a reputation as a no man's ten land for the curious. But it wasn't until the 1990s that the world started paying attention. Enter the Gorman family. In 1994, they bought the 512-acre property, dreaming of a quiet life raising cattle. What they got instead was a nightmare. Almost immediately, things went wrong. Their cattle started disappearing, or worse, they'd find them mutilated, sliced with surgical precision, organs missing, no blood spilled. No tracks, no predators, and no explanation. Then came the lights. Strange orbs glowing in the sky, darting like they had a mind of their own. Sometimes they'd hover over the ranch, other times they'd dive into the ground, vanishing without a trace. The Gormans saw things they couldn't unsee. Shadowy figures, voices in the dark, doors slamming shut with no one there. They'd hear machinery humming underground, but when they dug, they found nothing. It was like the ranch itself was alive, playing tricks and pushing them to the edge. Words of the ranch's strangeness spread widely, and it caught the attention of someone with deep pockets and deeper curiosity. Robert Bigelow, a billionaire with a passion for the unexplained. In 1996, Bigelow's National Institute for Discovery Science bought the ranch and turned it into a living laboratory. Scientists, researchers, even government types descended on the property, armed with cameras, sensors, and questions. They documented unidentified flying object sightings, electromagnetic spikes, and phenomena that broke every rule of physics. But here's the kicker. The more they studied, the less they understood. Equipments failed, data vanished, and the ranch seemed to toy with them, like a cat batting around a mouse. One researcher claimed he saw a portal open in the sky, a literal tear in reality. Another swore he saw a creature, tall and wolf-like, vanished into thin air. The government got involved too, quietly funneling money into studies through programs like AATIP, the Pentagon's secret UFO project. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds like a ghost story cooked up around a campfire. But the evidence keeps piling up. In the 2000s, the ranch changed hands again, and new investigations, some televised, some classified, kept the mystery alive. Cameras caught glowing objects in the sky. Radiation spikes were recorded in places they shouldn't be. And locals tell you about the dogs that refuse to step foot on the property, or the strange illnesses that hit people who linger too long. Even today, under new ownership, the ranch is a hotspot for researchers and thrill seekers. They drill into the ground, they scan the skies, and they chase shadows, and still, Skinwalker Ranch holds its secrets tight. What is it about this place? Is it a thin spot in the universe, where the veil between our world and something else wears thin? Are we dealing with aliens, spirits, or something older, something tied to the land itself? The Navajo stories talk of skinwalkers as beings of malice, but maybe the ranch is more than that. Maybe it's a mirror, reflecting our fears, our questions, and our need to know what's out there. Every answer leads to 10 more questions, and that's what keeps people coming back, risking. Skinwalker Ranch isn't just a story from the past, it's happening right now. New experiments are underway, new sightings are reported, and the government are still watching, still digging, and still keeping their cards close. This isn't a place you visit on a whim. It's a place that chooses you, that pulls you in, that changes you. So, if you ever find yourself in Utah, staring out at that endless desert sky, ask yourself, are you ready to step onto Skinwalker Ranch? Are you ready to face what's waiting? Because once you do, there's no going back. If you're as hooked as I am, hit that subscribe button and join us as we dive deeper into the mysteries of the unknown.